Notre Dame's excellent and not going to just tiptoe through the lilies and beat these guys.
We won 22 consecutive games at home.
Trevor will not be able to play. You just have to have the next guy ready to go.
We're looking at winning the conference championship.
Our number one goal is to try to win the conference.
Who knows? It might not be the only time we play them this year.
What a tough one for T-Law to miss, which means we'll get a quarterback making one of his first 2 career starts in a battle between AP top 5 teams. Only 2 quarterbacks in the last 15 seasons have done that. Cardale Jones from Ohio State in 2014 CFP semifinals with a win over Alabama, and Colt McCoy for Texas in 2006 in a loss to Ohio State. Here's the thing. If DJ gets the win over Notre Dame tomorrow, I feel like all of America, and honestly the whole entire world, need to figure out how to say the man's name. Put some respect on his last name. So I just want to know, have you mastered this last name?
DJ Uiagalelei.
That's pretty solid. Some of his teammates, I'm not going to try it because I already know I got it. I feel like since you just did it, I can't just copy what you just did. But some of his teammates did take a try at it.
I think it's DJ Uiagalelei, something like that.
I know it's not ukulele, it's like Uiagalelei.
Uiagalelei.
Uiagalelei, I think.
Uiagalelei. Yep, my boy. I think. I hope that's right.
Uiagalelei.
It's very hard to pronounce. A lot of vowels and letters and syllables.
I think I got this. Uiagalelei. I think that's right.
DJ Uiagalelei.
Snaps.
All right.
I like how the guy said, I know it's not ukulele. Well, yes, because that would be ukulele. But we do know one person who actually has got it down.
Uiagalelei. Uiagalelei. Uiagalelei.
You should probably get your practice in just like she did.
Respect. That is Athena Schroff. That is the daughter of Anish Schroff. And you can tell the daughter of a play-by-play announcer got the pronunciation nailed.
She probably heard him practicing it, which is why she was just repeating it, because she was like, this is what my dad does. Isn't this what I'm supposed to do?
The family business. Gotta love it.
Exactly. With that, we'll recommend our friend Trevor Matich. And Trevor, hard last name. I'm sure you've mastered it. Am I correct?
Well, first of all, I think Athena speaks 5 languages, so easy for her to say, but I pulled a muscle trying to figure it out. And here's how I learned it, so maybe this would help some people that are struggling. Think Uiagalelei. That's not hard to say, Uiagalelei, and then add the lei.
I mean,
Uiagalelei.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But what's Uiagalelei? Is that a word?
It's part of Uiagalelei.
I would say, I don't know if you know that, it's the first part of Uiagalelei, so.
Break it into bite-sized pieces.
Exactly, that's what you got to do.
Bite-sized pizzas, now you're speaking my language.
So Clemson has never had a Heisman winner, which is actually kind of shocking. Trevor Lawrence obviously not playing this weekend. We get to see a little bit more of DJ, which is exciting for people that want to say his name over and over again. So what have you seen out of DJ?
Well, what I've seen is that in his first start against Boston College, he actually fulfilled the prime directive. When you're a freshman quarterback subbing for the Heisman candidate in a national championship run, the first priority is don't freak out, kid. And I was impressed with how he kept his mind in the game and with his decision making. Top of the screen, that's running back Travis Etienne. And the poor soul that's trying to cover him up there is the middle linebacker, bless his heart. Now that is inhumane for a lot of reasons, but Uiagalelei is not trying to find some orange jersey to throw to. He chooses the right receiver for the right reason. And he should on this play. This is not hard. This one, though, is harder because they're not even trying to disguise this blitz. They want to get inside the young quarterback's head, but he's not going to bite. He stays focused downfield, and when that corner bails, he knows where to go with the ball. Now, a lot of young quarterbacks in this situation would fixate on that free runner and try to solve the problem with their legs. But Uiagalelei stays in the pocket and solves the problem with his mind and with his arm. Now, he's got Travis Etienne wide open, and that is something that might change a bit against a Notre Dame defense that's got ways to mess with young quarterbacks that Uiagalelei has only imagined. But when you look at his first test, he passed with flying colors.
Pretty solid. Gojo, what have you seen out of him?
Yeah, I think just what Trevor described there, the poise in that situation. Remember, down in that game in the first half to lead and mount a comeback against a Boston College team that is certainly no slouch in its own right. What Jeff Hafley's building there is noteworthy. And I think what's going to be interesting this weekend is can the speed on the back end of Notre Dame's defense, which is a thing I actually get to say that has not always been the case, the speed of guys like Kyle Hamilton at safety, the speed of guys like Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah at linebacker, can they use that ability to, A, mess with the eyes of the young quarterback, but also to cover that guy that Trevor highlighted, Travis Etienne, coming out of the backfield in all the ways they want to use him.
Well, obviously Notre Dame is your team. That's your alma mater. So how do you expect DJ to be able to go up against this Notre Dame team?
Yeah, I expect a lot of different looks early on, and Clark Lee, their defensive coordinator, does a great job of using the different safety bodies they've got around there, using the speed at his advantage, and the pass rushers they've got up front to try and play some tricks, but most importantly, create interesting exotic pressures, kind of like what DJ's used to seeing in practice from Brent Venables, who's the best in college football at it. So I expect them to constantly change the looks, manipulate eyes, and then they're going to have to force turnovers in this game to give Ian Book and that offense a chance to go and get big up front.
All right, so this is one of the most important remaining weekends this season. According to the All-State playoff predictor, each of the 3 remaining games with the highest adjusted playoff leverage are this weekend. We just talked about Clemson Notre Dame, BYU, and Boise State kickoff in a little over an hour from now. And guess what? Boise State, we were talking about this before the show, Trevor, wearing all black unis. And then there's the world's largest outdoor cocktail party in Jacksonville. We got Kyle Trask, and he's been in the conversation, in the Heisman conversation. We talked about him a lot in the first show, Gojo, when you were here. Trevor, what have you seen out of him?
What I see is that he's throwing as well. Christine has the best quarterbacks in the country, but the guys he's got to throw to are fantastic. He's got spectacular individual playmakers, but more than that, when his protection hits the fan, he's got guys he can trust. Now, tight end Kyle Pitts is known for circus catches on the highlight reels, but it's his precision that I respect. Got to throw the ball before Trask wants to. Pitts is not even near the break of his route. And yet when Trask is fully buried, Pitts is just getting his head around, and that ball is already on the way down. That is NFL precision from 2 guys that trust what they're going to do. And then you've got Kadarius Toney. When you talk about individual playmakers, this will make the highlight reel. He is known as the human joystick, and this ball was completed 2 yards behind the line, but it goes into the books as an 18-yard touchdown pass for Trask. So Kyle, you're welcome. But it's not just that Trask is along for the ride. Trask actually is fully engaging the playmakers that he's got, the precision that he has available to him, and that's what makes him a Heisman candidate.
Like we said, Trask is obviously a dark horse in this conversation. Pitts and Trask obviously on the same team. How do you feel like they kind of match up against the other Heisman hopefuls?
Yeah, I think it's interesting, and I think this weekend's going to go a long way because we talk so much about Heisman moments in the course of this. It's why Trevor Lawrence is all of a sudden finding himself out of that odds-on favorite territory because he's missing out on a big-time top 5 matchup to bolster that resume, whereas both of these guys, Pitts and Trask, are going to have the chance to do it not only on a big-time stage, but against a defense that everyone in college football looks at and respects as one of the best, if not the best, in what Georgia brings to the table.
I mean, the whole entire pandemic, COVID, just shaking up the whole entire football season and also the Heisman race. It makes sense. That's all we got with you, Trevor. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.